Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought it'd be fun to do a bookish vlog, and I'm also going to do a little bit of recapping the books that I've read. I've read 7 books within the past 3 months. So to start off the vlog, I'm here in my bookshelf area, and I thought it'd be fun to share the book mail that I got. So I recently ordered the 3rd book in the Gay Chronicles, and it came today, and I just opened it and I unboxed it, and I have it on my Instagram. So if you want to go see me opening that in real time, go over to my Bookstagram and you can watch that. I thought I would just share everything I got, the book, and kind of just my excitement for it because I love the series so much. I ordered this on the author's Etsy shop, and she was doing this fun thing where she was giving art prints and a sticker and signing the book. So I'm just so excited to finally have this. This is the 3rd book, Swords of Soul and Shadow. This is the 3rd book in the Gay Chronicles, and I am so excited. I'm not going to say anything about like the 3rd book because I really don't know. I don't really know. I'm not even reading like the back of this. But this is such a chunker. It is like 700 or something pages. The cover is gorgeous. The covers are gorgeous on every single one of the books. You know, I love the first book. The first book that is Cities of Smoke and Starlight. That book is so good. It's literally one of the best books that I think I've read this year. One of the best fantasy books that I've read in a trilogy, because I haven't read many, but it is definitely going to be like one of my all-star favorites. I'm going to reread the series. I just know that. So to have the 3rd book finally is so cool. And yeah, I love the characters. I love the story. And I'm excited to see how everything's going to go down in the ending of the 2nd book and how everything happens within these last pages and how the story wraps up. So I'm really excited. Also, it is signed. You all ready for this? It's signed by Allie Ernest, the author, and then it even has her little Dragon Page Entertainment little insignia, you can kind of see. This is so cool. To be able to see all 3 of them together is really cool, and maybe I'll show you what they all look like together on my bed. But I'm so excited that I actually have it in my possession. I can't wait to finish the 2nd book to jump into this one. It's gonna take me a while, and I'm gonna take my time with it, so I probably won't be finishing this probably till maybe even January. You never know, because I want to take my time and be slow with it. Maybe December. Maybe I'll try to finish it by the end of December. So now I'm going to show you the art prints that I got. Okay, all of the art prints came in this cute little envelope, and I just have them all here. This is a scene in book 3, I think, and I don't know, but I know for sure that Case and Hallie are in this, and I don't know who the other guy over here is. I have no idea who he is. I have predictions on who he could be, but I don't know. But this is gorgeous. The artist who drew this is so talented. I love this. So stunning. And then we have an art print of Hallie and Case together, the 2 main characters. Oh my gosh. There's so much glare, but y'all can see how cute that is. And then we have Hallie and Case. Yeah. They are so cute. I can't wait to like display these all over my bookshelves and all over my room and just like frame them and do so much with these. And then the last art print is actually like the book cover, but you can actually like really see it really good, like the details. Immaculate, like stunning. And then it also came with a sticker, and this is one of the characters, and this is Skibbs. It's not Case or Holly, but it is one of the other characters in the book, and then she has a little name so we know who it is. It's Skibbs. And I started laughing when I opened this because I was like, there's some things with this character, and if you read the books you'll understand why I'm probably laughing or why it's funny. And there you go, that is everything I got in the package. But I'm just so happy and so amazed with the art, with this book. I mean, hello, like 700 and something pages. Like I said, this is going to be one of my favorite fantasy series of all time, and it is. So there we go. Here is my shrine. I literally looks like a wonderful Cities of Smoke and Starlight shrine, Gay Chronicles, Hallie and Case shrine. We have all the art, little skip sticker. the third book here. But I want to show you what all three books look like together. So let's go look at that. Okay, so here are all the books together. They are so stunning. So we have Cities, the first one, and then Realms, and then Swords. Oh my gosh. This is so cool. They're all so beautiful in their own way, and I'm so here for it. Like, oh my gosh. And the fact that it's signed too. Nah, I love it. I love it. And then my bookmark is still in this one. So there we go. That's what they all look like together. They are beautiful. So I'm here to talk about the books that I read. The first book that I read in August was actually a middle grade fantasy. This is the second book after The False Prince. If y'all don't know what The False Prince is, it's basically the story of a boy named Sage, and he is basically like an orphan, and one day this guy basically comes to the orphanage and he's like, I'm gonna take you. And then basically there's these other boys and they all have to train to become the next prince of Carthia and this kingdom, because they're basically trying to make a false prince because the royal family is dead, and this guy wants one of them to take over the throne because he wants to control them and what they do on the throne. So that's what he does. He goes and basically like kidnaps them and he takes them to his house. He is like a regent, I'm pretty sure, in this world, in this fantasy world. It's not a magical like fantasy story, but that's kind of like the premise, and we're following our main character Sage and what he gets up to. And basically book 2 is following the events after that book and what happens. But if y'all don't know what happens, I'm not gonna spoil it, but this was a really good one. I do have a review for it on Goodreads, so if you want to go look at that, you can. It's really short and sweet, but I did really like this one because I felt like The Princess Bride, there was pirates in this book, so this book has a lot more pirate stuff. The first book is more like Prince and the Pauper vibes, but then the second book is giving me more like Robin Hood, pirates, Princess Bride, more of that vibe, and I really liked it. So I think it was great. I ended up giving 4.25 stars. I wouldn't say this series is like one of my all-time favorites. I know a lot of people really love it. I think it's good. It's nothing like so crazy where it's like hard to understand or anything, but I don't think it's like my favorite. I don't connect too much with the characters, but it's not like, oh, I'm so invested or this is one of the best things. And that's probably why I give it more of a 4. I give the first book 4. This book is more just like 4.25. Okay, the next book that I read was Sea Swept by Leah Cypes. These books are really cute. These are just like little palette cleansers I like to read. These are very much more middle grade, catered to middle grade girls, which is good. I do recommend them for middle graders. If you have little middle grade girls, 8 through 12-year-olds, I think they would eat these up. I think they would really like these. For me though, I feel like I am not the target audience, but if you have those readers, they will probably really like it. This one, however, was following our main character, and I forgot her name. She is a mermaid, and basically whole stories usually go, the sister ends up having to save the princess that we know. So like Ariel in this instance, her name wasn't Ariel, but the Little Mermaid basically is kidnapped and she's trying to look for her sister. So our sister is trying to look for her, trying to help her, and so she has to go above land and all this stuff, and there's a lot of like magic stuff that has to deal with all of that. So it was kind of fun. I liked the mystery of, is she going to find her sister, where's her sister at, and then getting help from the prince, not knowing certain things. There was this weird lady that was an emperor's daughter also involved in all of this, so it was a fun time. But like I said, I feel like these middle grade fantasies are good starting points, but they're not gonna be like the phenomenal, like these are so amazing. It was a good one to read towards the end of summer, and I think if you are looking for more mermaid-esque books, I think it'd be a good one to read. But yeah, just wasn't a favorite, and that's okay. The last book that I read in August was Everything's Coming Up Rosie by Courtney Walsh, and I really enjoyed this one. I gave this one a 4.75, almost a 5-star, wasn't quite there. This is about our main character, Rosie Waterman. She is a wannabe. She's trying to make it work in New York as an actor in musicals and plays. Her life's kind of fallen apart, so she goes back to her hometown in Wisconsin and she gets a job at a regional theater company, but ends up being a retirement community, and she didn't know that. She didn't know. But now she's the director of Cinderella, and so she has to help these senior citizens and all of this and all the antics that get up. There's also a little romance in here as well, and it was just such a cute, fun time. I personally love this story because of all the good like character arcs. She went through a lot of growing and discovering who she really was and who she really wanted to be and what she really wanted to do with her life. And I think this is such a good book if you are like struggling with that too and you don't know what you want to do, and there's so many like things you could do and you're being pulled in different directions and you just don't want to be a failure. And I feel like, you know, it's relatable also with her musical theater career. I feel like I learned so much from this. I love books with that, with good character growth, and you can really see where the characters are starting to believe in themselves and starting to see other things and other paths that they didn't know that they could go on before. A good self-discovery. She's like 28, so she's like trying to discover what she wants to do next, you know, where life's gonna lead her. And I love that. I love different things like that because we're always constantly thinking of that. You know, what are we doing next? What's our next thing? I really loved it, and I loved the ending. I actually teared up towards the ending. There was a certain scene where a really good full circle moment happens, and I just started like tearing up. It was making me very emotional. So if you want a good little emotional, good women's fiction-y, rom-com, modern day, contemporary novel, you should read this book. The next book I read was The Queen's Legacy by Jessica Day George. It's the second book in the Rose Legacy trilogy, and this book was good. Wasn't my favorite. I ended up giving this one a 3.75, I think. Yeah. I was okay. You know, it was okay. I wasn't like going over the moon about it in any way. I listened to a little bit of audiobook and I read it like physically. I'm not going to talk about like what happens in the second book, but I will just say I feel like it was more of a middle filler book. Not too much happens, but there was a lot of good stuff that was happening, but at the same time it wasn't like grabbing my attention and pulling me in. But yet I do love the writing of this author, so that's what was kind of hard, because I was like, I like the writing, but some things just weren't hitting as much. And I like the things that we found out in certain things, but I don't know. So I don't know about the third book. I think I will eventually read the third, but yeah, it wasn't disappointing, but it was just more like meh. It was good. I love that first book. Like the first book was really good. I gave it 4 stars. That book, I love the writing. I loved it. It's about a girl named Anthea, and she goes to live with her uncle in this countryside, and there's horses there, and horses were said to be extinct where she came from, and they were said to have like this deadly plague. So she's freaked out. She's like, why is there horses here? Then she figures out all the secrets and everything, and I loved that. You know, that's such a cool like premise. The second book just wasn't as good, so hopefully the third one will be better. But I do love the Anthea. I love the characters. I also, yeah, it's a good story. If you love horses, if you're a horse girl, or if you just love animals, you'll love this one, because the horses do get points of view in this book, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like that. So if you're an animal lover, you'll probably like this. And now we're in September. I forgot to mention that. But the next book that I read was Anne's House of Dreams by Ellen Montgomery, and this is the 5th book in the Anne of Green Gables series. I can't believe I'm already on the 5th book. Like, who let me do that? Like, who let me read all of these? I'm halfway into the series now. I'm not going to say a lot about this one either, because if you haven't read Anne of Green Gables, you're going to get spoilers for stuff. But this, just like overall, the story was so good. I give it 4 stars. I love what Ellen Montgomery does in her writing. I love the way she describes a lot of stuff. I think you can learn a lot from her writing. As a writer myself, I love just like reading it and being like, wow, the imagery is so lush, and I love that. There was a lot of crazy stuff. Not like crazy like in a fantasy vibe, but more, you know, the things that were being talked about in here was very cool, and I liked the characters, and I liked the setting where we're at. I think what I love about a lot of Ellen Montgomery's books is how you are introduced to a bunch of characters, and then they all have something important important roles to play by the end of the book. It's a very slow-paced, cozy type of book where you're just kind of getting slice of life. And I think that's really good. You know, sometimes it's good to like settle down and just have a book like that where it's not like, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff going on, your heart's pumping and you just like have to flip the page. It's good to just take your time and slow down with a book like this, and I feel like we don't do that enough. So I feel like it's more like literary. When I was reading it, I was feeling very smart. I'm excited to read the next books in the series eventually. I like to take these slow. So there's Anne's House of Dreams. The last book I read in September was The Letter Tree by Rachel Fordham, and this was such a good like fall read. It was kind of like Romeo and Juliet meets You've Got Mail. Our two main characters are kind of at odds with each other. Their families own shoe companies, and so they basically are kind of always in competition, the families are. And then also the main girl, Laura, she's writing letters. She's had a pen pal with somebody, and she stuffs the letters inside a little letter tree at the local zoo. And then someone has been writing her like for years since she was like a teenager or something. And so she's been corresponding with this person and nobody knows who it is, but it turns out that it's actually the guy that they're at odds with. So the other shoe factory's son, the owner, his son, and none of them know it. And it's so cool. So that's where the You Got Mail element comes in. And then the Romeo and Juliet, because both of their families are at odds with each other. They've always been, but they don't know why. Like they have to figure it out. And that's the fun part. I like that mystery aspect of them having to figure out why their families don't like each other, and then them figuring out who each other really is. It was such a cute, fun story. And I loved their romance, and I love letters, like letters in books. If you have a letter in a book, I'm gonna love it. I'm going to eat it up every time. I love the character growth and the writing style. I have a whole vlog dedicated to it, so if you want to go see me reading it, then you can go and watch that and get all my full thoughts and updates and everything, because I share a lot more. But I love Rachel Fordham's writing, and I loved this story. I literally ate it up. So 5 stars, easy as 5 stars. And the last book I read was in October, and I read only one, but that was Cities of Smoke and Starlight by Ali Ernest, the first book in the Great Chronicles. This, so good. 5 star book, 5 star fantasy sci-fi book. I love this one so much. So in this book, we're following our two main characters. We have Hallie, we have Case. Hallie is a scholar at the University of Jade, and then Case is a hover pilot in the military. And this book takes place in Yalvara, which is like their world that they live in, and it's like sci-fi. So, you know, it's not taking place on Earth. It's another planet. It's in the year 4000 something, okay? So, you know, it's very sci-fi-esque, but it has like Victorian era, Gilded Age era, but then it also has like ancient new modern technology. These two main characters, they go on a mission to basically form an alliance with these primitive people called the Yalvs, and also to secure some more Zeprium that's being stolen in the mines. And that Zeprium helps make all the hover ships and gives everything technology. So that's what they're tasked to do, and they have to go far away on this hover ship, and there's like a crew of them. So it kind of has like that Atlantis feel. It's just so fun. Like, it is so cool. The author also was very inspired by the Odyssey, so it kind of has like, you have a lot of that adventure. There's so much that these characters go through in this story, and I loved it. If you like anything like Star Wars or Treasure Planet, The Mummy, anything like that, you're gonna eat this book up. Pride and Prejudice, because this is like an enemies to lovers slow burn. And when I say slow, it's like slower than a turtle, slow burn. And I ate this book up so much. Oh my gosh. It's like adult, new adult. It's like that. But I'd say it's perfect for young adults to read as well. It's like an epic sci-fi fantasy. That's what this is. And I recommend it so much. And the characters are 21. So they're literally like my age. I'm 20. And so I could just relate. And I think that's why I like this book even more, because, you know, they're around my age. There's so many like things. I didn't get to tab a lot of this book, but like the way they meet is so hilarious. And then as the book progresses and everything they go through, it's just such a beautiful beautiful story. Like, if y'all need to read it, just go read it. I think from now on I'm just gonna like recommend this book. Like, you're gonna always see me recommending this book no matter what. It's just part of who I am now, because I think it is gonna go down as one of my favorite fantasy book series ever. I think so. So there you go, Cities of Smoke and Starlight. Definitely go read it. Everyone, it is future Hadara. So it is December right now. I officially finished the second book in the Gate Chronicles, Realms of Wrath and Ruin, and now I'm on the third book. I'm already around 66% into the third book, which is honestly crazy to me. I didn't want to just leave off the video there, so I wanted to be able to come back and update, and I've read a pretty good like chunk. I have 2 bookmarks in here because I was tabbing last night some stuff, but this bookmark is where I'm at, and that's how much I have left to go, which is honestly crazy. This is so crazy to me. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to document where I'm at, because last you saw I was unboxing this beautiful book. I cannot wait to just have time to read the rest of it, but at the same time it is such like, I'm sad. I don't want to finish it. I don't want to leave the world and the characters and everything. I don't know how I'm gonna feel like where we're at in the story right now. Things have picked up, revelations, secrets, and all these things, and it's overwhelming, and I just want the best for the characters. So yeah, but I'm absolutely loving it. I think I started reading like the very beginning of it during like the middle of November, so like the 17th, 18th, somewhere around there. So I've been working on this for a month. I love the whole story. I am excited to see how everything has come together and is going to come together in the ending, and I have so many predictions and I'm so scared. Like, I'm genuinely scared. I don't know what's gonna happen, but there's been so many like setups to things that could potentially be the outcome. Ali Ernest, the writing, oh my gosh, I've already cried twice reading this book, and one time wasn't even for something like a completely like sad. The other time was something a little sad, but like, I don't know, I have never cried twice reading a book before. So I thought that I could just update you so you know how my progress is going with this, because this whole series, it's just been with me and stuck with me, and it will continue to stick with me. And just like, it's such a beautiful and crazy and wonderful story. The characters, everything's just gonna stick with me forever. This is one of the first trilogies of fantasy trilogies that I have really just fallen in love with, and yeah, so it's really shaped me and changed me as a person, and I love it, and I cannot wait to see how the ending goes. I definitely will be trying to finish this by the end of the year, and I think I can do that. I only have 251 pages left. I've been like checking every day, like every time I read a little bit of it, and like I remember when I had 400 pages left to read, and now I only have 251. That's like an entire book. I'm just so excited. but also so scared and so sad. And I'm gonna be sad to leave this world and to complete it. It'll be nice to at least have it completed within the year and to kind of leave it in 2025. It's definitely a contender to be a 5-star, depending on how everything goes. So definitely comment down below, what are some book series that have been your favorites that you've read in 2025, or just your favorite book that you've read this year. Comment them and I would love to know, and so I can add them to my TBR. Let's stay connected on my social medias. I have my Fable Bookstagram and Goodreads all linked in the description for you, so we can become book besties over there. And if you want to see more from me, you can watch my Bookish vlog where I'm actually reading Cities of Smoke and Starlight. You get all my reactions and everything, my thoughts and feelings for the book one, and you can go and watch that here.